The British monarchy has witnessed countless moments of drama over the centuries, but few developments have sparked as much behind-the-scenes tension as the transfer of one of the late Queen's most treasured private estates. What appeared to be a straightforward inheritance has reportedly stirred frustration among some royal insiders and reignited discussions about power, privilege, and the future direction of the monarchy. At the center of the controversy stands Prince William. As the heir to the throne, William has gradually assumed greater responsibilities within the royal institution. Yet this latest development is about far more than ceremonial duties or public appearances. It involves land, wealth, influence, and a legacy stretching back generations. When Queen Elizabeth II passed away, many people focused on the public transition of power. King Charles III ascended the throne, national mourning took place, and attention turned toward the future of the crown. But hidden beneath the headlines was another important reality: the transfer of private royal assets. Unlike crown property, which belongs to the institution itself, certain estates are privately owned by members of the royal family. Properties can be passed down through inheritance, creating enormous shifts in personal wealth and influence. One estate in particular has become the subject of intense fascination: the Duchy of Cornwall. Valued at well over £1 billion, the duchy is not merely a collection of land and buildings. It is an enormous portfolio consisting of farms, residential properties, commercial ventures, and vast stretches of countryside. For centuries, it has provided financial support to the heir to the throne. The moment Charles became king, ownership of the duchy automatically passed to Prince William. Overnight, William became one of the largest landowners in Britain. The transfer dramatically increased his financial independence and strengthened his position within the monarchy. Suddenly, the Prince of Wales possessed resources and influence on a scale that few people fully appreciated. For William, the inheritance represented more than wealth. It symbolized continuity. It was a direct connection to generations of royal heirs who came before him. The duchy had supported princes for hundreds of years, and now the responsibility rested on his shoulders. Publicly, everything appeared calm. William continued carrying out engagements alongside Catherine, Princess of Wales. The royal household emphasized stability and service. No signs of conflict emerged from official channels, yet according to royal commentators and palace observers, the situation may not have been viewed so positively by everyone connected to the royal family, particularly those associated with Queen Camilla. For years, Camilla's relatives have occupied a unique position around the monarchy. They are connected to the Queen through family ties, but unlike the Windsors, they are not members of the direct royal bloodline. That distinction matters. In royal circles, lineage and inheritance often determine influence. While Camilla became queen consort and later queen, her family did not automatically gain access to the vast hereditary structures that support the monarchy. Duchy of Cornwall was never something that could be inherited by Camilla's children or relatives. It belonged exclusively to the heir. The moment William received control, any possibility of influence over such an enormous royal asset effectively disappeared. This reality reportedly fueled growing frustration among some observers who believed Camilla's branch of the family would remain permanently outside the monarchy's most powerful financial framework. To understand why emotions may run so high, it's important to appreciate the scale of the duchy itself. This is not a country house or a ceremonial residence. The duchy generates substantial annual income. It funds charitable initiatives, supports official activities, and provides financial security for the Prince of Wales and his family. Control of the estate also grants significant authority over land management, decisions, and long-term investments. In many ways, the duchy serves as a foundation for the future king's independence. For William, that independence carries enormous significance. Throughout his adult life, carefully crafted an image focused on modernization and accountability. He has spoken about environmental sustainability, mental health awareness, and reforming aspects of royal operations. With the duchy now under his control, possesses the resources needed to implement many of those ambitions. Reports have indicated that William has already shown a strong interest in reshaping certain areas of estate management. He has emphasized community development, environmental stewardship, and long-term planning. Supporters view this as evidence of a future monarch preparing for the challenges of the 21st century. Critics, however, argue that such changes inevitably shift power away from older royal networks and traditions. And this is where the story becomes especially interesting. The relationship between William and Camilla has long attracted speculation. Officially, the family presents as a united front. Public appearances are cordial. Statements remain carefully measured. Photographs often show a harmonious royal household, but royal historians frequently point out that blending families within a monarchy is never Simple. William and Prince Harry endured extraordinary challenges following the death of their mother, Diana, Princess of Wales. The arrival of Camilla into the family dynamic was a sensitive subject for many years. Although relationships reportedly improved over time, memories of past tensions have never entirely disappeared from public discussion. Now, with William's influence expanding dramatically through ownership of the duchy, some commentators believe the balance of power inside the royal family has shifted decisively. The future king possesses financial authority, public popularity, and a clear constitutional path toward the throne. That combination makes him arguably the most influential royal after King Charles himself. For those hoping to shape the monarchy's future through alternative channels, the transfer of the duchy represented a significant setback. Meanwhile, William appears increasingly focused on preparing for the responsibilities ahead. His approach differs noticeably from previous generations. Rather than emphasizing tradition alone, frequently discusses measurable outcomes, efficiency, and practical impact. Sources close to royal affairs have suggested that he wants royal resources to deliver visible benefits for communities. Such priorities resonate strongly with younger audiences, yet they also create friction with individuals who prefer established ways of operating. Every major institution experiences tension between continuity and change. The monarchy is no exception. As William strengthens his position, questions inevitably arise about who gains influence and who loses it. The inheritance of the duchy may have been automatic under royal rules, but its consequences extend far beyond legal paperwork. It affects relationships, it affects perceptions, and most importantly, it affects the future direction of the crown itself. Behind palace walls, conversations reportedly intensified as observers assessed what William's growing authority would mean in the years ahead. Some saw opportunity, others saw exclusion, and for those connected to Camilla's side of the family, the realization that one of the monarchy's most valuable private assets was now firmly under William's control may have been particularly difficult to accept. But what happened next would take the situation to an entirely different level. Because insiders soon began noticing a series of decisions that suggested William was not content merely to inherit the estate, intended to transform it, and those changes would reportedly leave certain royal circles more alarmed than ever before. As discussions continued behind the scenes, attention increasingly shifted toward the decisions Prince William was making as the new steward of the duchy. What had initially been viewed as a simple transfer of ownership was quickly becoming a demonstration of how William intended to exercise his growing authority, and the message was unmistakable. This was no ceremonial role. William appeared determined to leave his own mark on the estate, just as previous princes of Wales had done before him. Yet his vision reflected a distinctly modern approach. Rather than merely preserving inherited structures, he reportedly focused on adapting them for future generations. Observers noted his interest in environmental initiatives, sustainable farming, affordable housing projects, and community investment. Priority aligned closely with themes he had championed for years in public life. To supporters, this represented responsible leadership. To critics, it represented a shift in direction that reduced the influence of older royal networks and traditions. The significance of these developments should not be underestimated. The duchy is more than a source of income. It functions as a powerful platform from which the heir to the throne can shape policies, demonstrate leadership, and establish priorities long before becoming monarch. Every decision sends a signal. Every initiative reveals something about the future king's values. As William expanded his involvement, many royal commentators began describing the duchy as a preview of the monarchy he may eventually lead. That prospect generated both excitement and anxiety. Excitement among those who believed the institution needed modernization. Anxiety among those who feared change. For individuals connected to established royal circles, the consolidation of authority around William appeared increasingly difficult to ignore. The Prince of Wales was no longer simply preparing for future responsibilities. He was actively exercising them. And unlike previous eras, he possessed extraordinary public support. Polls consistently showed William and Catherine ranking among the most popular members of the royal family. Their image as a stable, dedicated, and relatable couple strengthened their position considerably. Public goodwill is a valuable form of influence. Combined with the financial resources of the duchy, it created a powerful foundation for William's future. Many analysts began describing him as the central figure in the monarchy's long-term strategy. That perception only intensified speculation regarding internal royal dynamics, because whenever one figure rises, questions inevitably emerge about everyone else. Where did that leave Queen Camilla? Officially, Camilla continued performing her duties alongside King Charles. She maintained a full schedule of engagements and remained an important part of the royal household. Yet constitutional realities cannot be ignored. The Queen's position depends upon the reign of the monarch. The Prince of Wales, by contrast, represents the institution's future. As time passes, attention naturally shifts toward the next generation. That transition is neither personal nor unusual. It is simply how hereditary monarchies function. Nevertheless, such shifts can create tension, particularly when influence, visibility, and resources are involved. Royal experts have long observed that every reign contains competing centers of attention. There is the reigning monarch, there is the heir, and there are the various households, advisors, and extended family members navigating their own roles within the broader structure. The transfer of the duchy effectively strengthened William's position within that framework. Some insiders reportedly viewed this as the beginning of a new phase in royal affairs, a phase increasingly shaped by William and Catherine. Priorities, their projects, their vision. Meanwhile, public fascination with the story continued to grow. Many people were surprised to learn how extensive the duchy's holdings actually were. Others became interested in the unique way royal assets are passed between generations. Inheritance highlighted a reality that often escapes public attention. The monarchy operates on multiple levels simultaneously. There is the ceremonial institution seen by millions, and there is the private network of estates, finances, and responsibilities that supports it. William's acquisition of the duchy brought those two worlds together in dramatic fashion. Suddenly, an administrative transition became a national talking point. Yet perhaps the most remarkable aspect of the story was what it revealed about William himself. For years, he has been described as cautious, disciplined, and deliberate. Unlike some public figures who seek attention through dramatic statements, William typically prefers a measured approach. His handling of the duchy appeared consistent with that reputation. There were no grand announcements, no sweeping declarations. Instead, there was a steady pattern of engagement, planning, and oversight. Observers interpreted this as evidence that he viewed the estate not as a personal prize but as responsibility, a trust to be managed for future generations. That perspective earned praise from many quarters. At the same time, reinforced the reality that William's authority was becoming increasingly substantial. The heir who once walked behind his mother's coffin as a grieving child had evolved into one of the most influential figures in Britain. His responsibilities now extended across vast estates, major charitable initiatives, and the future direction of the monarchy itself. The symbolism was powerful. Every acre of duchy land, every investment decision, every strategic priority, all pointed toward the same conclusion. William was preparing for kingship, and that preparation was happening now, not decades from now, not in some distant future, now. As this transformation unfolded, speculation about dissatisfaction within certain royal circles continued to circulate. Whether exaggerated or accurate, such reports reflected a broader truth about institutions built on hierarchy and inheritance. Not everyone benefits equally from succession. Some individuals gain influence. Others see opportunities disappear. The duchy's transfer represented exactly that kind of moment. A clear constitutional outcome that nevertheless carried significant emotional and political implications. For William, however, the path forward appeared straightforward. His focus remained on stewardship, on service, on preparing for the enormous responsibilities that await him one day. And with each passing year, that future seems to draw closer. King Charles continues to reign, but the emergence of William as a powerful and independent figure is impossible to overlook. The duchy has accelerated that process. It has provided financial independence, institutional authority, and an opportunity to demonstrate leadership on a national scale. In many respects, the inheritance marked a turning point. Not simply in William's life, but in the evolution of the modern monarchy. What began as the transfer of an estate became something much larger. A symbol of generational change, a reminder of how power moves within royal families, and a glimpse into the future that may eventually await the House of Windsor. Whether celebrated or criticized, one fact remains undeniable. Prince William now stands at the center of that future. The estate is his responsibility. The opportunities are his to seize, and the expectations resting upon his shoulders have never been greater. As royal watchers continue to examine every development, one conclusion seems increasingly clear. The inheritance of one of the monarchy's most valuable private assets did far more than increase William's wealth. It cemented his position as the dominant figure of the next royal era. And for anyone hoping to influence the future of the crown from the sidelines, that reality may be the most frustrating development of all.